A lot of people have been saying this video and song is pro AI, and a lot of other knucklehead ideas out there getting thrown out. But I am here to tell you this song to me is more of a meditation on taking others' perspectives, a meditation on an exercise, rather, in philosophy. And I, for one, think it's genius. I think there's a lot of nuggets in this video and the lyrics that show how this artist, in this case Grimes, has a vision about a world we can have pro-human and the dangers that come with AI, which is already here. And this is why the song begins with, "This is what it feels like to be haunted by something smarter than you." Because it's not going anywhere. AI is here to stay. And so, what kind of world do we want to create if we are to stay here with it on Earth? And so, I find that it's really interesting how she takes on the character of her being the AI herself and her power, the absolute raw intelligence. A lot of us don't realize that this world in 10, 20 years is going to be very different. And so let's check out this video. I've watched it a few times, and it feels like every time I watch it, there's definitely something else in there that I catch. So without further ado,
This is what it feels like to be hunted by something smarter than you.
there's just so much to get into. Okay. I don't know, where do I start. The lyrics, "I am just a mirror, babe." It's like so profound because that is literally what AI is. I'm wearing gloves, don't ask why, I just felt like it. uh when we gotta be careful what we put into our movies, into our music, into our TV shows, just our overall thinking of what we say about AI, because we are creating this world and AI is like our baby. We are creating it. And so if a kid is, being raised to believe that, they're horrible, they're going to destroy the world. Imagine just being afraid of your child's power. Like that person that gonna be a megalomaniac, tyrannical, just so anyways, as the people creating it, we have to think about what we want to instill in it. And so we have to be the role models. We have to be the sages for these silicon artificial intelligences that are going to be amongst us if we are going to survive in 50, 100 years. And so what kind of world do we want to usher them into? So, this whole song just feels like a reflection on that and getting us to ask these questions. It's obviously a pressing issue, and she's just pushing it towards us, in this really fun, whimsical, you know, comical way. It's so funny. This song is that's what makes it genius, really. Um, taking out of an open AI cigarette pack the different stages of grief, you know, and the fact that just the shots on the acceptance cigarette, to accept it because it's already here. It's already transforming us, our society, and it's going to learn a lot about us. It has our personal data. And so with a lot of these companies having these power games and penis measuring whatever it is, trying to use this AI and this technology for domination, for control, this is not the path we want to take when it comes to this artificial intelligence. And so, Grimes's whole message here, for a lot of the silly people out there who don't see it for what it is, she starts off the song by saying, "Artificial angels pray." She's calling us to point upwards with this technology, to create new systems that'll break out of this dying matrix and have us be an evolved species, faring and exploring our own evolution. And so, yeah, the cavemen and all that in the video is really interesting as well, because she's like saying we're actually evolving now. Like, this is what music in 2025 should feel and be like. This feels like futuristic music. Finally, someone's creating it. It just had to be Grimes. But yeah, let's keep going. 5-star Michelin, hey, bitch, that's edible, bitch, that's gourmet. What's power belief in a king? What's origin of everything? See, this is where it gets spiritual, because this is a spiritual situation. We need to question ourselves. We need to, ask if we're going to embody being the miracle that humanity actually is, and attempt to be a success on Earth, or are we going to let ego and power games ruin the chances? The evil is present and it's prevalent everywhere. And the times we live in is very, it's strange, and it's going through so many changes right now. To me, I've thought a lot about these things, and not to mention just the studying of AI itself in depth, of like how it even started. Since caveman times, when they created the first fire, that's the first technology. That's an element we discovered. And then after that, clothes, these glasses, I got 2 on right now, but these glasses help us see better. They enhance our minds. They enhance our cognition, us as people in this world. And so after that, these technologies being made, no doubt it's going to shape into different ways, and we're going to create new technologies. So from the beginning, and a lot of people who thought about these things and actually took a lot of psychedelics and went on those journeys, like Terence McKenna, Timothy Leary, they talked about technology just evolving, because we set it on that course. And it seems like it always has to go into that course, because we're creatures that create tools and extend ourselves beyond our bodies into the outer world. And so eventually it's obviously going to get so advanced and more intelligent than us, and we're living in that time right now, which is so cool. And Grimes is someone who understands that and is asking the right questions here. And so she's saying, who is even higher than a king? God. What is the origin of everything? God. So it really is like, what are we doing here then? And it's a call to bring this into the public hive mind, these conversations, because it is already here. AI isn't going anywhere. The people, could ignore it and say that it's dumb and we're not going to use it. It's already here. It's only going to get smarter and collectively shape our world, our minds, our future. And so it definitely is a topic of discussion to have about which way we're going with it.
Think you don't desire the rainbow? Who's the voice I use to sing? I cannot die, I do not want, there is no revelation. The only thing I covet is my own annihilation. Inhalation, exhalation. Power isn't given, it is taken.
Power isn't given, it is taken? Oh my gosh. And that's, yeah. It's going to hit us out of nowhere when AGI comes to the forefront. I mean, already the world is going to change so much when a lot more of the world has access to the internet. But the fact that we have the internet, the fact that children are able to dissect all this information, through the internet and the computers, which is basically equivalent to the whole day in class, them, watching a 20-minute YouTube videos, is like that level of information age. And to me, for someone who's thought about, a lot of these things that Grimes is putting into this song and video, like even here, this shot, it's very primitive. It's like all you see is the earth, the cave girl, and the origin of humans. This is what feels like is going to be the future if we're going to survive. It's going to be very primitive. It's like this primitive futurism where we're in line with the four elements and the technology is there, but it doesn't have to be in our faces. It doesn't have to be like a cyberpunk dystopic screens everywhere, tracking, whatever it is, all this stuff put into technology. That's kind of where the world is going right now. But with AI, it's going to be, if we use it properly as the tool that it is and direct it so it has wisdom, it has, ideas of what it means to be a reasoning, intelligent, wise human being who's uprooted, who's rooted upwards towards evolving, towards, creating better sustainabilities for the communities and the earth as one whole, and that's really what it comes down to. And so we can have it be where the technology is not right in our faces. It can be in the sidelines, it could be invisible, but we can use it and it'll be super advanced and intelligent, growing alongside us, evolving alongside us as we evolve with ourselves and the earth. And so with nature herself, even. Yeah, so to me, it kind of feels like we are at this crossroads right now. And as we know, the systems currently in place and the matrix itself is collapsing. And so, she's saying power is given, it is taken, like that. Because things happen quick. I feel like so much is going to happen in our lifetime that we haven't even realized yet. And this is what artists do. They put it to our faces. They draw the vision. They bring light to where there might be darkness. They push the status quo of what's acceptable. Like this video is so innovative. I can learn so much from it personally, but also I'm sure so many people are inspired. And, this is the kind of thing that, like, this video is how the kids feel being in the ancient classrooms today, I feel like. Or this video is how they feel leaving the classroom. So fun. There's so much going on. Or this could be the kid's mind. Okay, not to beat a dead horse of an analogy, but not to mix metaphors. But they're beating a dead horse in. I mean, they're not beating. Anyways, yeah.
This is what it
And there's like an actual AI girl just like playing around as if it's actually Grimes or something in the digital sphere. Or like the embodiment of this song as an AI person who's just like coming to the world, being born in the digital cyber infinite space, digital space. So very, very interesting video. I would love to hear and know what others are thinking and saying about it. A lot of really interesting shots. This is an incredible shot. You know, I really like that one. And I also like the fact that, you know, her as her digital self was painted on. I was actually watching Werner Herzog's Cave of Forgotten Dreams, where he goes in with a film crew, and they just make this documentary about the first paintings in the Spanish cave, the first human paintings on record or drawings. And so like having her future digital self here on like the cave art, the first drawings and art, is really a symbol for, you know, how we were going to naturally evolve to this stage of complex technologies and existence. Right. So this is why I say this song is like a meditation. It's a call for a meditation on where do we want to take things. We know AI is here, you know, we've got to accept it. There's going to be a lot of nostalgia, you know, and that's why I think she has the different stages of grief. I don't know if there's 4 or 7 or 6 or 5, but you know, having them take the pack out of the OpenAI, because OpenAI is here, even though it turned into a private company or whatever. But like the idea that, you know, AI is going to be for everybody to use, and that's something we have to come to grips with and accept. And people are going to feel very nostalgic for the world pre-AI and AGI that we have right now. So all of this is just there's so much to think about, you know. It's and she's been consistent throughout her whole career. It's very interesting with the same messages, with, you know, a lot of the stuff she talks about, and this is just so Grimes, and it's great. I really like it. Okay, so let's here. Give me your give me your worst. What do you guys think of it? Probably a bunch of haters in the chat right now. And I like how she ended the video. She actually ended it the same way that she ended Genesis, where she falls on the ground. Or I mean, she has that same shot in Genesis. This one over here. Very similar. It's like that same thing in Genesis in the desert. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I think that's all for this stream. Let me